Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're here working on the 14 again, and if you're just joining us now, there's a playlist for this tractor I'll put right up there for you. The mission for today should be pretty short and sweet. I've got the mule drive and deck hanger off of it. Normally this piece here goes down there. In the previous episode I demonstrated how to remove it. It's pretty straightforward, but I'll again refer you back to a video to check it out if you'd like. And what we need to do on this guy is reattach a handle that's supposed to go right here to release the belt tensioning mechanism, because it just straight fell off last summer, I think, real early in the spring. So we need to put this guy back in that hole and put a nut on it and all that good stuff. The reason we're making this a video is you can see this bolt is pretty much smoked, and these are all supposed to be self-locking nuts and all that stuff, and I'm sure they gave up the ghost a long time ago. So we're just going to kind of make this an impromptu how to replace your mule drive pulleys video. I actually did just put new ones on this thing about 2 years ago. And these are Oregon brand, they weren't very expensive, and I'll also link them in the description for you. The first thing we need to do is just take this guy off. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but we actually just started getting like snow flurries. So of course it's a great time to work on the tractor. I think maybe you can see just a few flakes pass by. Great. And what we're going to need to do that, at least on mine, is 2 9/16 wrenches. And since this bolt's kind of screwed up, it might be fun trying to get this nut off of here. We'll see. Yeah, so far so good. And it's starting to feel weird as we get into that part that sort of has thread. So hopefully it just comes off. We almost got it. There we go. While we're here, let's check the condition of those bearings. Still feels really nice. And you'll see this pulley, there's a standoff on it. You want to make sure that that goes toward the inside of this bar. And the factory Cub Cadet hardware is actually self-locking nuts. You see how there's a little stake mark in that nut? There should be one on the other side too. That's because they put these in a press and kind of squash them to make those threads become ovular, so they become locking thread instead of just regular. But you have these on and off a few times, they'll wear out. They're kind of like nylock nuts in that way, is where they're really only good for one use, but these are much stronger. So when I went to the hardware store for replacements, I also got mechanical self-locking nuts. You can see these are staked at the top, so they actually grab the bolt pretty hard. These are much better than something like a nylock. But one thing I did notice when I was looking at this before is these are actually SAE fine thread, and the replacements I bought are coarse, but I doubt it matters because I got all new nuts anyway. So there's really not a whole lot to this job past that. Just need to take our new bolt, get our pulley in, and this bolt's a little longer than the original one, which also should not matter. Get this guy kind of lined up right. And now that I have full thread, I probably will switch over to a ratchet for this. I was using wrenches before just so I could feel what was going on. And there we go. You can see we just moved quite a bit past flurries. This really makes you not care about mowing the grass. And if you're curious, it's the day after Easter. Yeah, I think we're going to shut the garage door. Let's see if the Milwaukee will run it, because that would be nice. Probably would if I wasn't a moron. Feels nice and tight. I believe we want our handle like so. So this tab is up. Grab another nut. And this one we do have to be a little careful with on tightening, because we still want this bar to be able to move. It needs to pivot up and down to be able to work. And that's the primary reason why it's important to use good locking hardware here. And of course I put this handle on wrong the first time. That tab goes down, but we got her all on there. And now you can see it's in the locked back position. Now it swings forward, and that would be in the tension position. So the belt comes in over these two guys, and this would be your running configuration. And then if you need to change the belt, you just push that guy in, lock it down on the tab, and you can remove the belt. Actually, I kind of missed a trick with this thing. What I want to do is double nut this, because I have another lock nut here. If you don't know what that is, basically what you do is you run another nut onto it, and then you turn the nuts against each other, and they jam themselves together. So that'll make this a really secure connection that shouldn't come apart again in the future. And especially since this lever has to move, you can't just have it completely dead tight. This will just help keep things nice and snug for us. If I can actually reach in there to get it on. Okay, So it's on there. It's not on there with a whole lot of threads, but that's okay. And it's also not engaging its locking features, but we're not relying on that to actually lock anything. So what I'm going to do is hold this rearward nut stationary and just tighten the bejesus out of the outward one. Now she's double nutted. That shouldn't go anywhere again. No more parts falling off in the yard, let's hope. And that's really all there is to this one. If you were to want to replace both pulleys, of course, the process on the other side is pretty much exactly the same. I know this is just a quick little video and it's not that exciting for a lot of people probably, but one thing that always surprises me about the channel is the stuff that becomes popular after the fact. I really never thought anybody would come looking for videos in this tractor, and it's become one of the more popular vehicles on the channel. And it's hard for me to know if that's from hobbyists that are just curious what other guys are doing, or if there are people that just buy one of these and don't know how to do anything on them at all. So I cover some more basic stuff maybe for the element of the audience that may just be getting started with these. And I should also mention that you don't have to have the mule drive off of this thing to do this job. I just happen to have it off for other reasons in this video. So let's get this thing thrown back on the tractor. As with most things, installation is the reverse of removal. This thing's a little unwieldy to deal with and try and hold a camera and everything, but I'm pretty sure the way we're going to go about this is I'm just going to drop it on the floor. I'm going to engage the front of it, so this part right here, engage that guy into the king bolts it goes onto. Then I think we can pivot it up into location to catch that fork onto the bar it goes on. Then I think we can just pin it back onto the rock shaft arms. If that isn't the way it goes, I'll come back and let you know, but I'm just kind of freewheel it from here. So I've got the front of it back engaged on its kingpins and in its lock in the front of the frame. And I think we're going to be able to just pivot that fork onto that bar and get our link supports reattached without much drama. I'm sure everybody that has one of these things does this their own way. And I don't do this often enough to have a way. So this is today's way. So just like so. And then I've got this link arm in like sin. That guy back on, get our pin in it, and she shouldn't fall down. Easier said than done. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Let's get the one on the other side. Of course, now I see why the other side was fighting me to move over. Had that guy in a bind, but now we don't. So now let's get this pin back in, which of course is a different kind of pin. It's probably going to be a big pain in the ass to put back in. Surprisingly, no. Do I need a pair of pliers here? Probably. Yep. I brought a screwdriver too. Help get her open. Sorry about the shaky cam, guys. You're sitting on cardboard. And so am I. Well, anyway, that ain't going anywhere. Cool, reattached. Ready to have a mower deck hung back on it. Good times. I think that's going to mark the end of this one because, well, job's done. As always, I want to thank you guys for stopping in. We'll catch you on the next one. Well, it's 2 days later. I don't think I'm going to need to worry about mowing anytime soon. Look at this garbage. I'm Max, that's Saddington Bear, and we make videos like this all the time. Here are a couple links to some other videos we've made, and we really appreciate you guys stopping in.